Hey, this is Andy hanging out here in San Diego with Gary Baseman. How you doing, Gary?
I'm good.
So, what brings you to the con?
What brings me to the con? I know I haven't been to Comic-Con in about 3 years.
Okay.
But, so I'm actually doing a signing tomorrow at the Bait booth. And so, I have a new figure that I did with loyal subjects called the Buckingham Warrior. So, a figure that's actually really dear to me, and almost maybe even more extra special than some of my other figures. So I wanted to be able to support it. And the last couple months I've been traveling through Europe and Eastern Europe, so I haven't had any kind of signing for the figure, even though the first and the second version has just been released already.
All right, on. So great. So what have you been doing out in Europe and South America?
Well, in Europe, I had an exhibition in Milan called Vicious, which was about this character.
Great.
And I did a lecture in Berlin. I painted a wall in Rome. Then I came back to LA for like a week and a half, and then I flew off again, and I had a Fulbright grant. So I was a Fulbright specialist doing workshops and lectures in the country of Latvia.
Okay.
But also an important journey that actually has a little to do with my figure, the Buckingham Warrior, in a way, is that I also traveled to Poland and Ukraine, to the original hometowns of my parents, that no one in my family's been back there since 66 years, since the end of World War II.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So it's a really kind of dark, emotional journey that I needed to take.
Do you still have relatives there?
I do, but they're all under the ground. No, see, both my parents were Holocaust survivors, and both my parents' towns, even though they're different cities, different towns in the same suburb of the main city, the stories are pretty similar. So they were both small towns that were 80% Jewish, and there were about 3,000 people in each town. And in the Second World War, we were systematically mass murdered. So no, so this is a place where my parents always told me never to go to, that they were dead. But I needed to open up that Pandora's box and go visit and see the world that my parents actually came from. Because I was born and raised in Los Angeles. So I was like a Hollywood Fairfax kid. You know, grew up with Disneyland and McDonald's and stuff like that, and the Dodgers. But I needed to see their world. And so, and actually, this new figure, the Buckingham Warrior, is actually in honor of my father. So my father not only was he a survivor, but he was a partisan, which in America, people don't know what a partisan is, but in Europe, he was a freedom fighter. So he was in the woods of Poland for like 3.5 years fighting with Russian paratroopers during the war. And so I created this and he had like such a strong will to live, and he did so many amazing things that with this figure I kind of wrote a folklore tale of this kind of a deer character, somebody who's just like a simple creature who just wanted to live in the forest and was forced to have to become a warrior to survive and to thrive. And so that was the Buckingham Warrior. So on the back of every box is a folklore tale telling the story of who the creature is in honor of my father.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it actually is pretty amazing.
So tomorrow is your first time going to be signing for the toy?
I'll be signing the toy. I haven't ever signed the back of the toy or the box yet.
Wow, that's fantastic.
But it'll be okay. It's a nice little trip. And you know what? I've been avoiding Comic-Con because in the old days it would be like I would get out and see all my international friends, and now it's all just pretty much the entertainment industry and club promoters. But it's actually nice seeing a lot of my artist friends. So.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm glad it came out.
So have you got any more toy plans coming up?
Yeah, I got a lot of plans.
Yeah?
But the main one is I have a retrospective next year at the Skiraball Museum. So I'm going to have a show exhibiting all my paintings, toys, art performances. Back when I was an illustrator, those years, when I had my animated TV show, my work for Cranium. So it's going to be a big celebration of art and all media. So I'm pretty excited. And
Wow.
You know, people from LA, everyone from LA comes out, and people from all over the country can come out.
All right.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for talking to us, Gary. Appreciate that.
Sure.
All right, man.